Hello, Professor. I'm Anne Marie Brown, and I am sending you a Screenomatic video. I thought it would be easier to talk to you a little bit more of what's going on in my mind and what I've been thinking of in the last 2 weeks since the class is open. And I actually, like I was saying, if you saw my discussion, I've been thinking about this for a long time, this course. I had tried volunteering and doing other things with other organizations, but a lot of times the communication was lacking, and there was a lot of it was always like me chasing other people. So I decided, since I didn't have good luck, like I mentioned in my discussion, that I'm going to kind of go on my own and think of things that I like and things that I've dealt with throughout the years. And things that I have are I'm a gardener. I love to work in my yard. I am really into buying and plants and dedicating to making sure that we have a lot of stuff in the environment for pollinators, bees, bats, that kind of thing. And the second thing is that I also have a really good connection with a lot of older people. I worked for a long time in healthcare, 36 years as a medical assistant at Riverbend Medical West, Riverbend, now Trinity. I'm now in a cancer center, but I was working in the Chicopee office for many years and taking care of patients, many of whom are older and living right in our local community. So something that I was thinking of was doing some type of community service that is dedicated towards our older population. And what I'm showing on the screen here is that I found that Older Americans Month is happening for the month of May. And it's creating a connect, create, and contribute to bringing awareness of isolation, depression, things like that happen with older people as they age. And we're in a generation of people that are, it's a very high amount. Baby boomers are now getting older, that age and generation, and I'm actually a baby boomer. I'm in my 50s, so we're all getting older, and it's just a lot of people live alone, so it's just one way to help people connect out there, and I discovered this in some of my research. So that's one of the things I'm thinking of, is going possibly I'm possibly thinking of going towards some type of garden, bringing in plants, possibly making a couple of big pots that have flowers in them, or some type of plant that attracts the pollinators to these uh, to whatever I create. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So part of what I have to do is call maybe some gardeners or a beekeeper, just to get some advice in regards to what they think I should use. Although I do think I know pretty much. I'm trying to figure out who to have as a mentor. I am devising an email. I'm going to contact the Holyoke Senior Center, South Hadley, in Chicopee, which is right in the area where I live. I have the emails for all the directors, and see if they want to work with me. I'm going to be doing that tonight. I'll send out the emails if I can, tonight or tomorrow at some point. So I've been brainstorming. This has been a lot of brainstorming in the last 2 weeks. It's kind of like whether I didn't know whether I wanted to do just a bee type of a project just dedicated to bees or dedicate just to elderly. So I've been trying to figure out how to combine the two. And I think it's a good way to do it. They're always looking for, things for the senior centers. A lot of these senior centers are newer. They're always looking for different, whether it's furniture or some type of events going on. So I'm hoping I can work up something with the executive directors if they're willing to talk to me. I hope they will. So an email, I have their phone numbers, but because I want to explain myself, I think an email is easier to connect with them, and we're going to go from there. What helped me honestly this week is I was scared. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, is mind mapping. I really found that was a big, big help. and I was able to devise some more ideas when I started. To me, it really is something that works very well for me. I'm visual. I have to like write things out, look at what I'm writing, and it helps me to create even more in my mind where I want to go. So the mind map actually was a big help this week for me. So that's where I'm at on that. And I have a picture of what I took of my weeping cherry tree in the front yard just to show I do photography also. I love taking pictures of plants and animals. So that's another thing. I could do a storyboard or something to bring with me. So those are some of the ideas that I have so far. So I'm thinking in my mind some of the questions that I might have to think about asking you. It's pretty overwhelming, and I'm sure you hear that over and over. I know I have to do a step process. Part of the action research is, of course, following different steps. So I think I'm going about the steps in the right direction. I think emailing is okay. I'd like to know your opinion on that. Your opinion on the idea. I can go very simple, like I was saying, possibly by making pots to bring. I want to see what they say. I'm hoping they'll connect with me and I can find maybe a mentor. And that's the other thing. How do we go about doing this? Do you think I should have somebody like one of the executive directors, or see if they have somebody that can kind of guide me through this? I guess that's a matter of who I can connect with in the email and go from there. If you think I'm doing it correctly, it's just finding a mentor and finding somebody I think is a little overwhelming. It's like back when we had to do the information interview. I had to email about 4 different people, and I actually had a really good informational interview on the last minute, right before we were due to actually do a report and send it back in. So, as far as questions are, I think that's what I have right now. It's like suggestions about finding a mentor, and what do you think my idea, do you think it's something that I'm doing correctly? I mean, that's all I can think of right now. So I just put another picture for you to see, and this was taken at the women's conference I went to on March 29th for Bay Path. And in the middle is my my little saying I put up on their wall, where everybody had just messages they would put as to what they were dedicating to. And I always go every day and try to be brave, strong, and smart. And of course, my goal is to have a good job and buy myself a nice car. Lots of other things, but just as a vision that I've had for years, of going back to school, is to have something really nice, whether a trip or whatever. But a nice luxury car would be a good thing if I could make a little more money. So that is the picture I took there, and it's been about 8 minutes into it, and I think I kind of came across giving what I need to know. And if you have any suggestions, that's the 2 things that I think I mentioned. And I appreciate all your help, and it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to hearing your response back. And I hope I did my work okay this week. Thank you so much, and have a great night.